July 22nd, 1893. Pikes Peak inspiration. Katharine Lee Bates, a Wellesley College English professor, reached the summit of Pikes Peak in Colorado and was moved to compose the original poem that would later become the patriotic hymn America the Beautiful. This moment was a direct result of a summer teaching position at Colorado College in Colorado Springs, where Bates was engaged in an intensive course designed for educators. The trip to the summit was part of a weekend excursion with colleagues, undertaken by wagon and mule, which culminated in a profound emotional and intellectual response to the panoramic view of the American landscape. Bates recorded her impressions shortly after the experience, penning a 4-stanza poem titled Pikes Peak. She completed it within a few days of the visit, and it was first published in the Congregationalist magazine on July 4, 1895. The original version begins with the now familiar line, "O beautiful for spacious skies." The poem's imagery reflected not only the natural grandeur she observed from the summit, but also broader themes of American ideals, including liberty, brotherhood, and sacrifice. Her words captured the aspirations of a nation emerging from the social and economic transformations of the late 19th century. Although Bates's poem was written independently, it quickly became popular among the American public. By 1904, the lyrics were set to the melody Materna, composed in 1882 by Samuel A. Ward. This pairing created the form recognized today as America the Beautiful. The song was never officially adopted as the national anthem, but it has maintained a widespread cultural presence, frequently sung at public events, and considered by many as an alternative national hymn. Its popularity grew especially during times of national crisis, including world wars and the Great Depression, as Americans sought cultural symbols of unity and hope. The poem's composition in 1893 coincided with a period of national reflection prompted by the Panic of 1893, one of the most severe economic depressions in U.S. history at that time. The United States was also experiencing shifts in population due to immigration and urbanization, and national identity was an increasingly prominent theme in political and cultural discourse. Bates's poem spoke to these developments through its vision of a country that balanced its expansive geography with moral responsibility and civic virtue. The specific setting of Pikes Peak was symbolically important. Located in the Rocky Mountains and known as America's Mountain, Pikes Peak had been a notable landmark for westward travelers during the 19th century. Its prominence in the landscape made it a natural platform from which to consider the vastness and potential of the American continent. Bates's reaction to the view from the summit reflected a sentiment shared by many Americans at the time, who saw the physical majesty of the country as intertwined with its national character. The enduring popularity of America the Beautiful can be traced to the universality of its themes. While inspired by a particular location and event, the poem speaks broadly to ideals that transcend regional boundaries. Bates revised the poem several times in her lifetime, with the 1911 version becoming the most commonly reproduced. Throughout these revisions, she maintained the central message of a nation striving toward a higher moral standard, guided by principles of equity, humility, and compassion. Katharine Lee Bates continued her career in academia and writing, becoming a prominent public intellectual and advocate for social reform. However, her legacy remains most strongly associated with the poem inspired by her ascent of Pikes Peak. The work's integration into American culture was not the result of official decree, but rather a grassroots embrace by citizens who found in her words a reflection of national ideals. The composition of America the Beautiful on July 22, 1893, stands as a distinct event in American cultural history. It marked the birth of a text that continues to resonate with generations of Americans, both for its evocative language and its vision of a nation defined by both its physical beauty and its ethical aspirations. For enthusiasts of historical ephemera, visit history-collectors.com to find collectibles that might complement your collection. You can own a piece of history.